I'm just
saying.
Until you are, and then we'll buy you. Yeah,
okay.
like Terry, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is one account will tweet something out, right? No matter what time of day it is, right? Agitating them and gaslighting and whatever about a certain topic. Within seconds, every other one of these big accounts in your fan base, our fan base, whatever, then copy and paste it and twist the word. How do they suddenly all be online at the same time? Why they all suddenly got the same thought process about every player that's ever graced?
I'll tell you why.
Hold on. How do they know every player from embryo stage around the world? Right? I mean, have they got 100?
Do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know what it is, Lee? I'll give you an example of what it is. You do exactly the same thing as them, and so do I, but not on Twitter. When it comes to YouTube, generally speaking, we all react to and do shows about the same sort of subjects, right? So we react to transfer news, match reactions, previews, scandals, watch-alongs. This is Twitter's same version. These aggregator accounts will fluctuate to the biggest trending news, whether it's a compilation of a kid that's been linked to you, let me finish explaining. They will fluctuate to the news that's trending, because what they want is the same as you and I. They want other people to come and interact with their page. If they start posting news that isn't trending, that isn't popular, if everyone was breaking with news that Arsenal just signed Declan Rice, but you went live talking about a signing that West Brom made, you'd get no traction. It's the same for them. I get where you're coming from. I don't think it's the club that owns their Twitter accounts. I do think a lot of them look at it and go, what's the best for my interactions? I think it's going to be A, B, or C, and they go with it, and they all go in the same direction. That's what I think it is.
This kid that's linked, he's not even linked to Arsenal. Yeah, this kid, the compilation that's been doing the rounds of this 17-year-old kid from Ajax, yeah, nobody linked Arsenal to him. But now he's linked. Why? Off of the back of 2-3 accounts posting out a compilation. How do they always have a compilation ready to go?
Because that's what people get out of it, man. Because so one of the lads I met from one of the United ones you haven't mentioned, I met him. He was about 17 years old at the Football Content Awards a few years ago, and he literally, I spoke to him, a really nice lad. I said, like, when did you start doing this? He went, well, when I was learning to do film editing at school, he said, I used to make a lot of football compilations. I'd make dozens and dozens a week of players I liked and saw here and watched there. Then I made a United news thing and I kind of merged the two together, and he spoke about it. Now it's so big, his page and his Instagram page, him and his free friend from school all run it. And they're earning good money on it, and it's now become a business for them. So there is a business element to this for these people, because we know X pays people now. You're blue ticked, the same as I'm blue ticked. Some of them, like United MBB, they've launched a YouTube channel now. They're trying to push people across to there. A lot of them have Instagram channels as well, and there's money to be made on Instagram. So I get where you're coming from, and I do get it. Sometimes it's nauseating when there's an opinion that gets put out that you think's wrong, because I'm in the same as you, and you see loads of big accounts share that same opinion. It's like a hive mind. You think Jesus Christ, right there. I don't think the club run their accounts.
No, maybe they don't run the account, but they're definitely some way connected.
Maybe.
Oh, here you go, have a load of free merch to push this out. Trust me, I'm not stupid. PSG have been found. Yeah, it's been exposed that PSG pay people to prop on match days and stuff like that on the PSG accounts. And you think Arsenal ain't doing that? You think Man United ain't doing that? Yeah, we know that the English Premier League has got more PR attached to it than any other league. And if PSG have been found to be doing that, yeah, then our clubs are definitely doing it. And the easiest way to get traction is be ultra sickly, toxic, positive about everything, hype up everything, slag off every other club. Yeah,
I don't know. I agree to an extent. I agree to an extent. But what I'm going to say is this: you mentioned that about banter and everything else you shouldn't do online. All I really view Twitter, Instagram, even to a degree YouTube as, it's the same as when we were younger, but there's a digital way of doing it in front of a wider audience.
We're in the playground, Terry. These people are grown adults.
Yeah, no, but even at work, I used to go to work, and if I lost a game of football, Man United lost a game of football, and I remember going to work once. Man United weren't even involved. Chelsea won the Champions League. Turned up at work at Barclays. My assistant manager, David Lang was his name, was a Chelsea fan. He messaged me in the morning saying, I'm up early today because buzzing after the weekend. He goes, don't worry about doing it. You used to have to do this search in the morning of the building before you opened it and let staff in. He went, we'll do it this morning. You can come in a bit later. Turned up, went in my office. Chelsea stuff from winning the Champions League posted all over my office room. Banter's always gone on like that to do with football. I just think now there's a social way of doing it as well. I don't think things have changed. That didn't mean... standards it's where we do it's changed, but people have always bantered. They've always had fun. They've always blindly defended their club. Like Ty didn't become Ty because of YouTube. Claude weren't Claude because of YouTube. You've always been like this. Are you putting what you do on for effect on camera, or are you being you?
No, but I hold the standards of the club. Like I said to you
Lee,
before.
you have, this is why I wouldn't accuse what you're saying. A lot of people think you put this on for effect. You don't know, do you?
Whatever. At the end of the day, people get
but you're making the same accusation to other people that they're putting it on for effect. Some people might just think that, Lee. Some people might just be like that. I think they've always been like it.
That's cool. Great. Fantastic. Yeah, but use your 500,000 or your 1.5 million to actually call out the trash that's going on at your football club. And you can call that out. You are allowed to criticize your football club when they're not doing stuff that they should be doing.
Can I ask you a question, though? Can I ask you a question? You've got 90,000 followers, 115,000 in total. It's a huge following you have. Let's just say in 3 years' time, you're happy with where Arsenal are. You've got a new manager. You're winning. Yeah. You're winning, and you're happy. And then people say, "No, Lee, we don't want you saying you're happy. We want you. We're not happy." And they give you their reasons and their legitimate reasons. And we say, "You need to push what we want you to push out." You're not going to listen to them, are you?
Well, guess what? My highest viewed videos are actually when we've won stuff. FA Cup final, FA Cup semi-final.
No, I understand, but that is my point, is it? You're not going to be told what to say by anybody. So why are you telling people what to say?
I'm not lowering the standards of my club. I'm holding them account. The standards have been set at my football club. The standards should not drop. Man City fans booed their team off the pitch at the weekend. Booed them.
We booed in Old Trafford. It helped. We won our next game 0-0.
Right. Man City fans booed their players off the pitch, yeah?
I agree with it as well. They should have booed that.
Man City fans, they're big up to LB, yeah? LB was sat doing his player ratings, giving out zeros for a 2-2 draw at home. Yeah, none of this look at what Pep's done for the club, mate. Yeah, because the standards have now been set for Manchester City. So people are sitting on their pages and going at Man City for, oh, they're so spoiled. Well, maybe if you had a bit of hold on, maybe if this lot had a bit of respect for the football clubs they support. Yeah, because we're not tiny football clubs. Yeah, we're massive footballing institutions, Terry. Yeah. Oh, but they're booing Pep, they're booing their players. They want a treble. Yeah, that was last year, mate. What are you doing for me today? Oh, you just give away a 2-goal lead at home to Palace. Yeah, the standards have been set. And this is a concept that has been lost in the UK, mate. Yeah, with you English football teams, it has been lost. Yeah, I guarantee you right now, right? Who've Real Madrid got? Leipzig. They got Leipzig. I guarantee you, right? If Leipzig are bopping them off the park, yeah, in the second leg, the white handkerchiefs will be out mid-game. They'll be booing and cussing their team. Why? Because the standards are set. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what you've done before. It doesn't matter previous what the manager's done or the players have done. Hold the standards. Man City are not holding the standards so far this season, so their fans have every right to boo. Yeah, and every right to call it out. The problem with our clubs is, yeah, we've got way too many people that have infested our fan bases that have lowered the standards. And then when anyone like me calls it out, the standard reply, the generic replies come out, Terry. Negative, toxic, Spurs fan. You were banned from the Emirates. You're a disgrace. Nobody, whatever. The factual information is there. People would rather be lied to than have factual information. Yeah, we have not won anything for 4 years. Why is everyone so happy?
Listen, I get your point about, but I mean, some City fans are telling me that they weren't in the comments and they weren't booing the players and Pep, they were booing the referee.
That watch my channel on my lives that go to games and they booed him at the Emirates when we beat them, and he was at the game. I'm just
going by what's being said. I've got a question for you about Arsenal before we move to the super chats. How convinced are you could go on to win this league now? You've become second favourites with the bookies. How do you see it, mate?
Well, listen, I see the standards of this football club last January. And I was sat on this show, probably this time last year, the day after Messi FC won the World Cup. A year and 1 day ago, Tel. How quick's that gone?
I know, mate. I can't believe it.
But at least YouTube ain't dead this year. But yeah, November, December was a myth. Yeah, but
awful.
Yeah, it was. It was dead, wasn't it? But I sat on this show. I've sat on other shows around November, December last year, saying we're going to see the ambition of Arsenal Football Club, the fans of Arsenal Football Club en masse, because we had an opportunity in the January window last season to go out there and really go for a title. And what happened? We signed Trossard, brilliant, over the moon with that signing. Then we went and signed Kivior. Like who? And he's been rubbish, by the way. We then went and signed Jorginho. That told me right there, this club is all about top four. So we sit here a whole year later, and I'm going to say exactly the same thing. We see the ambitions of this football club and the majority of its fan base. Because unfortunately, Terry, I don't think we're going to do what's required. And the problem we have is that a large percentage of this fan base are just fixated with top 4 because Big Daddy Vengs told them top 4 was a trophy, and they were in love with Big Daddy Vengs, and that's the reason they supported the club, because of him, him and Wenger. Yeah, so a lot of people started supporting because we were winning. Wenger, they were then infatuated with, they see as a father figure. They've then lowered their standards. Any manager who came in after Wenger went, they were never going to back because their daddy had been sacked. And now the daddy's son, who was the captain when we ended the 9-year trophy drought, is now the manager. Hence why they back him so much, because he's an attachment of Daddy Vengs. Yeah, well, listen, go and sign me some top players. Go and get Rafinha. Go and get Onana, one of them two. Go and get me Anderson. Who can cover for Saliba instead of putting Kivior there. Yeah, or Gabriel. One of them two gets injured. Go and put Anderson there, because I don't want Kivior at centre back. He ain't good enough. Yeah, go and get me another midfielder, because if Declan Rice gets injured, we're down to Jorginho, mate, and he ain't good enough. Yeah, the other option to that is El Neni. Yeah, go and get me a striker that can score, because we've got a striker who openly admits it ain't his strong point. Right? We've got a goalkeeper who admits he can't concentrate, and we've got a left back who's never at left back who says he can't defend. Yeah, so go and get me some proper players that have an elite mentality. Ivan Toney, go and get me Paulinho or Onana. Right, that's going to cost what, 150 maybe, 130. Yeah, now go and get Anderson for 30 mil, 160, job done. Then we go and win a title. And I said the exact same thing this time last year, and they didn't do it. Yeah, they didn't do it. So top 4, get in the Champions League, don't win it, get kicked out to get top 4 again. We've done this cycle for 20 years, Terry.
Yeah, I understand why you want to see him go and buy more, and I think you guys need to do that. It gives you such a bigger and better chance. I'm going to answer this one for you, Lee, if you don't mind, just to show I do listen to you. Lee said Arsenal shouldn't buy backup players. Lee, what you're doing is decontextualizing Lee's points from the past. When you've already got 2 brilliant centre-backs with a brilliant partnership, it's okay to buy backups. When you've got, say, a weak midfield, you don't buy backup-level players, you buy first-team players for it. That is what Lee means. That's what everybody gets.
Yeah, Anderson. Yeah, listen, Saliba and Gabriel have been probably the best partnership this season. Right? However, if one of them two does drop, Anderson's an adequate backup comfortably that I would be happy starting games and Saliba or Gabriel having to fight their way back in. Yeah, whereas Kivior shouldn't even be at the club. Yeah, look at Reece Nelson, for example. I'll give you another example very quickly. Yeah, our last 2 league games, we've played Brighton and Aston Villa. In both of them games, our manager didn't make a substitution until after both of them managers for the other teams made 4. That tells you he don't rate our bench. He don't rate the bench. Aston Villa made 4 subs before we made one, and so did Brighton. Why? He don't rate Reece Nelson, but it was cheaper to keep Reece than go and buy someone adequate enough. Yeah, he don't rate Eddie. It was cheaper to keep Eddie because he didn't have to go out there and spend 65 million plus wages on someone else. Just give Eddie 100 grand a week. That's 20 million over 4 years. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?